One of the most common questions anyone has when moving to a new area is, what is the cost of living? How does the cost of living compare to where I'm living now? Well, at the same time, you also got to compare the cost of living to the quality of life. I think what surprises many people about when they move to Omaha is the low cost of living paired with the higher quality of life. In today's video, we're going to explore our cost of living in Omaha, Nebraska, and we're going to get started right now. Hi, my name is David Matney with Nebraska Realty. I'm a local realtor here in Omaha, Nebraska. Now let's jump into today's topic. What is the cost of living in Omaha compared to other cities? According to payscale.com, when you compare the overall cost of living to the national average, Omaha is 7% lower than the national average. How does Omaha compare to the national average when looking at housing, utilities, groceries, and transportation? For housing, Omaha is 16% lower than the national average. For utilities, we are 6% lower. For groceries, we're 3% lower than the national average. However, for transportation, we are 3% higher than the national average. One of the reasons our transportation is higher than the national average is because of our limited public transportation options. As a city, we have made some progress. We now have the Orbit bus system. Orbit stands for Omaha Rapid Bus Transit. These are the orange articulated buses that operate east and west along Dodge Street. We are also in the process of adding a new streetcar system that's scheduled to come online in the spring of 2027. In spite of our progress, we have plenty of room for improvement. Your public transportation options also depend on your location. If you live near downtown or in midtown Omaha, you have more options when it comes to public transportation. If you live out west or in one of the suburbs, you'll need a car because public transportation becomes more limited. However, one of the benefits of living in Omaha is our average commute time. The average commute time in Omaha is currently 20 and a half minutes, which is 6 minutes faster than the national average. Where are the people who move to Omaha? Where are they coming from? Now, according to Redfin, for inbound migration, the top 10 cities people are moving to Omaha are, number 1 being Kansas City, 2 being Seattle, Washington, 3 Los Angeles, 4 San Francisco, 5 Lincoln, Nebraska, 6 Washington, D.C., 7 New York, New York, Sacramento, California tops out at number 8, number 9 is Boston, Massachusetts, and number 10, San Diego, California. Now, I just helped someone relocate from Los Angeles to Omaha from the channel. They were in shock because they were able to purchase a brand new home in Omaha for just over $300,000. They moved to Omaha and they were shocked at the affordability and the quality of life. My client pointed out that where he was from, that house would have been over $750,000 for the same home. He also pointed out that when he drove around Omaha, he couldn't believe people left their lawn furniture out during the day. He said where he was from in LA, that would have been stolen. So he said Omaha was like traveling back in time. And this was his words. He said, it's a hidden gem. It's fun to see people who are excited about moving to Omaha. And if you're moving to Omaha and if you need any assistance, my contact information is in the description below. Let's take a look at a few cities and compare. For example, Kansas City, Missouri, the cost of living is very close to the cost of living in Omaha. The cost of living is only 1% lower in Omaha compared to Kansas City. Omaha is kind of like Kansas City's little brother. However, if you look at the city of Seattle, Washington, and compare that to Omaha, the cost of living is 38.3% lower in the city of Omaha. For housing, Omaha is 60.2% lower than Seattle, Washington. For someone making $80,000 a year in Seattle, to maintain that same standard of living, they would only need to make $49,336 in Omaha, Nebraska. Let's take a quick look at some of the rankings when looking at the cost of living. According to yahoo.com, Omaha is 5th for most relaxing place to live on only a Social Security check. MarketWatch.com named Omaha as one of 5 awesome places in America where you can still buy a home for less than $250,000. SmartAsset.com named Omaha as best cities for first-time home buyers. Omaha was ranked 11th by Yahoo Finance on the list of best 15 cities to retire on $2,500 a month. Omaha was ranked number 2 by smartasset.com, where renters can afford to live alone. livingcozy.com ranked Omaha number 7 for lowest 2-bedroom rental. Overall, Omaha is very affordable, especially when you look at both the East and West Coast. However, we have seen prices jump in the past few years. Looking at the graph for January, median sold home price in Douglas and Sarpy County, the median closed sales price for January of 2024 was $300,000, and that was up 7.4% compared to 2023. In January of 2023, prices were up 3.5% compared to the year prior. Just for fun, let's compare home prices in Seattle, Washington versus Omaha, Nebraska. Let's jump on Zillow, see what you get for your money. Let's look for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with at least 1,500 finished square feet. Okay, this looks like a really cute place. Looks like it's been updated. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, no garage with 1,660 finished square feet for $985,000. And it was built in 1909, and it looks like it's already under contract. How does that compare to Omaha, Nebraska? Here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 1,590 finished square feet, and it was built in 1924, and it's listed for $375,000. This listing is courtesy of Jack Harvey with Meraki Realty Group. If you look at the map, this home is in a popular location. It's near Elmwood Park and the University of Nebraska at Omaha, home of the Mavericks. It's also close to Nebraska Medicine, Nebraska's only level 1 trauma center, and it's close to Exarban. Exarban is Nebraska spelled backwards. Now, back in the day, Exarban was a horse track and an arena complex. Today, Exarban is home to Exarban Village. You can shop, grab a bite to eat, enjoy a Maverick hockey game over at the Baxter Arena. It also is home to several businesses and several buildings associated with UNO. If you like to golf, Elmwood Park has a golf course as well. Believe it or not, Warren Buffett only lives a few blocks away too. Warren lives over on 55th and Farnham Street and has lived there since 1958. What about rent? In Seattle, you can rent a studio apartment at the Accolade in the University District, and I believe that's near the University of Washington. This is a studio apartment for $2,229 a month, and you get a total of 387 square feet. How does that compare to Omaha, Nebraska? Now, this is in the same area near Nebraska Medicine where you can rent an apartment at the ZAG. The ZAG is located at 5110 Mayberry Street. A studio apartment, the Breve, is comparable. It has 324 square feet and it rents for $890 a month. One benefit of this apartment complex is the proximity close to one of my all-time favorite places to eat. Just around the corner at 5107 Leavenworth Street is a place called 3 Happiness. Very affordable, not very fancy, but they have fantastic Chinese food. I have been going to this place for 30 years. What about taxes? If you're moving to Nebraska, you need to be aware of our high property taxes. For example, in our earlier example of 5612 Leavenworth Street, that was on the market for $375,000. The yearly property taxes were $5,542.42. In Douglas County, our property taxes fund 10 plus government agencies. Out of the 10 government agencies, the vast majority of property taxes go to public schools. Make sure you budget for higher than average property taxes if you're considering moving to Omaha, Nebraska. We also have a graduated state income tax with rates ranging from 2.46% to 6.64%. Nebraska also has a 5.5% state sales tax. The city of Omaha, we have a sales tax of 1.5%, meaning in Omaha, we have a combined sales tax, city and state, of 7%. Local municipalities have a cap of 2% in terms of sales tax. For example, in Papillion, the combined sales tax is 7.5%. However, food and prescription drugs are exempt from sales tax in Nebraska. If you're like me and you like to dine out, the city has an additional restaurant tax on top of the sales tax. Omaha, you're looking at 2.5% on top of a 7% sales tax if you're dining out. And it's hard not to eat out in Omaha because we're a great city when it comes to food. We have lots of great local restaurants. We also tax your vehicle as well. Every year you pay a motor vehicle tax based on the age and the value of your car. Politically, we're a red state, but we tend to tax you like we're a blue state. Now, if there's a service or a purchase out there, Nebraska will find a way to tax it. Let's take a quick moment and talk about homeowners insurance. Now, according to insurance.com, Nebraska ranks third behind Oklahoma and Kansas for states with the highest homeowners insurance rates. I suspect that is because of thunderstorm activity in the spring and summer. When you shop for insurance, be careful because you're not shopping for just the lowest rate. You're looking for the best policy at the lowest rate. Here is the issue, and we're going to talk about roofs for a second. There's two types of coverage. There's replacement coverage and actual cash value, or ACV. So what is the difference? Replacement coverage means they replace the roof. A hailstorm occurs, the roof is damaged, it needs to be replaced. Let's say it's $15,000. You pay your deductible, and the insurance company covers the rest. For actual cash value, coverage works like this. A hailstorm occurs, the roof is damaged and needs to be replaced, and let's say the total cost is $15,000. You pay your deductible, and the insurance company depreciates the roof based on the age and the wear and tear. And so they're only going to reimburse you for part of the roof. You got to cover the rest out of pocket. If you're going to be buying a home, make sure you speak with your trusted insurance provider to clearly understand exactly what you're paying for. Here's another quick tip, and that is if you suspect hail damage after a storm, call a trusted roofer first. Do not call your insurance company, because if the adjuster comes out and even if there's no damage, you still may get dinged for a zero paid claim. Sometimes you can be dropped from coverage if you have too many claims, even if it's a zero paid claim.